with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good evening, I'm Haley Potter. Thanks for joining us for tonight's edition of the Erie News NOWCAST. Our region is still feeling the effects from wicked wind making its way across the region. This video was sent to us from Daniel Shields, who tells us this tree came down around 10:30 this morning. The tree came down onto nearby power lines. There were still a few thousand people out of power around noon today, but Penelec tells us power has been mostly restored. At new tonight, we have continuing coverage. Yesterday, we reported the Anna Shelter was asked to help more than 150 animals who were found at an abandoned barn in Crawford County. Rescue crews found over 150 animals alive and more dead ones, all left in cages without food or water. The Anna Shelter asked for community support in adopting some of these animals, as housing all of them in one place is just simply impossible. Today, I visited the location where these animals are being kept until they find homes. The Anna Shelter spent the day sorting through the animals who were healthy enough to be released by the vet. They made calls to some of the potential adopters, and the director of the Anna Shelter says she's thrilled by the community support. We will hear from her coming up on Erie News Now at 11. And earlier today, AHN St. Vincent held a mass vaccine clinic at the Erie Insurance Arena, where nearly 2,000 people received their first dose. And hospital leaders indicated that we could start seeing these clinics happen more frequently than just once a week. So here's what we know right now. Clinics like today will happen as long as there are enough doses available. Knowing how many doses weeks in advance will help plan these mass clinics. The problem is getting the same or more doses weekly. But the question remains, if we have more of these clinics, will we finally make it onto Phase 1B? AHN says they need a system to see who all has been vaccinated.
When it comes down to seeing between each hospital and health system who has been vaccinated, there's not that visibility. So if there was a system that allowed us to look between health systems and know who in Phase 1A has been vaccinated at one health system versus the other, that would help us, I think, be able to know definitively how much work we have left to do within Phase 1A.
In meantime, Meadville Medical Center held a vaccine clinic today, too. The clinic took place at the Peebles building on Park Avenue Plaza. It was open to anyone in Phase 1A that registered in advance. And our region has vaccinated more than 60,000 people as of today. As we round out the week, more than 1.5 million Pennsylvanians have been fully vaccinated. Erie has vaccinated more than 41,000 of its residents, and Crawford has vaccinated more than 15,000 residents. For all the latest COVID-19 facts and figures, check out our website, erienewsnow.com. And Pennsylvania says its program to vaccinate teachers and school staff continues to be ahead of schedule. The project has been in place for the last 3 weeks. The Commonwealth says Pennsylvania is on track to have the initiative completed by March 31st. As of this morning, more than 104,000 school teachers, staff, and contractors have received the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Acting Pennsylvania Health Secretary Allison Beam has said that once Pennsylvania vaccinates all teachers, it will target high-risk industries with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And speaking of teachers, the Roman Catholic Bishop of Erie is recognizing the efforts of local Catholic school staff. Today, Bishop Lawrence Persico joined the superintendent of schools for the diocese to recognize school staff. Persico says the last year has been especially challenging for educators, and the diocese wanted to recognize the hard work that has gone into education this year. The diocese held a breakfast this morning at St. George School and other events throughout the schools.
It's nice to be recognized, not that they want to be recognized, but they truly appreciate that the bishop and the diocese and the Erie Catholic School Office is recognizing everything that they've done this year.
And Dr. Anthony Fauci says scientists are studying the two most pressing questions for Americans who have already been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Can they become infected without showing any symptoms? And if so, can they transmit the coronavirus to someone else? Today, Dr. Fauci said a large trial is underway involving 12,000 college students at more than 20 universities. He says the trial will help scientists understand mask use post-vaccination. Half the students will get the two-dose Moderna shot, and the other half will initially initially serve as a control group while getting the same vaccine 4 months later. All the students will keep a record, swab their noses daily, and provide occasional blood samples. They'll also provide the names of close contacts. Dr. Fauci says it may take about 5 months to get these answers that we're looking for. And outdoor programs are returning to Pennsylvania's state parks starting on next weekend. The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources will offer outdoor programming lined up with the CDC guidelines. Starting on Sunday, outdoor in-person programs can start with a limit of 40 people per program. People will still have to wear a mask and socially distance. Visitor centers will open with a 75% capacity. DCNR officials say monthly visits to Pennsylvania state parks have increased by more than 1 million visitors a month since the beginning of the pandemic. And local magician and businessman Bobby Borgia took over the comedy club at 14th and State Streets about a year ago. Photojournalist Hunter Vaughn takes us behind the curtain of the club, which has transformed into a unique hub for magic, comedy, and nightlife. It's the latest edition of a feature we're calling the Friday Photo Finish.
Magic is really a sense of awe. Or sense of wonder. I think it's more of an emotion and more of a feeling that you get when you see the Grand Canyon. It's like a sense of awe. When you see a rainbow or a thunderstorm, that's like that sense, that feeling. It's more of a sensation and a feeling. And there's something special about that word magic and capturing it. It's not just a box trick or anything like that. To me, it's an emotion. My name's Bobby Borgia, and I'm the creator and designer and co-owner of Keller's Secrets and Wonders. I wanted to create and design something that never existed before. It was not easy at all, but it was worth every step of the way.
What Bobby has done here is the future of live magic. A lot of people don't know that yet, or they think I'm being hyperbolic, but I assure you I'm not. And the fact that it's here in Erie seems so perfect. You couldn't do this in New York. You couldn't do this in LA because the audiences there are so blasé. But real people, like the people between coasts, who are the real Americans, who have real lives and real jobs and real families, those people have nothing invested in trying to act too cool for school. It's the most logical result that this should begin here in the heartland of the country.
Now there is legitimately a reason to go out and see something new that you would otherwise have to go to a big market city to see, or you'd have to take a cruise, or you'd have to go on a vacation to a resort to see the type of talent that's coming in here tonight. Are you kidding me? Larry Wilson, Garrett Thomas are here tonight? That's bonkers. In Erie? It's incredible for Erie, and I hope they don't take it for granted.
Thanks for joining us for the Erie News Nowcast. Join us for our next news at 10 p.m. on the CW and 11 p.m. on WICU and WSEE. Have a great night.